Microsoft is one of the most recognizable brands in the world. Nearly every computer owned at home, in the workplace, or in schools has software developed by Microsoft. Whether it's Windows 10, Microsoft Edge, Outlook, or Microsoft Word. And it's not just in the world of personal computers that they have a presence in. They are also very active in the video game industry with the Microsoft Xbox console. So, how did the world leaders in computer technology begin? Today on Feed My Curiosity, we take a look at the early history of Microsoft, who started the company, and what were some of the earliest Microsoft products. Find out today on Feed My Curiosity. Prior to founding Microsoft, Bill Gates and Paul Allen already had strong backgrounds in computer science. While attending Lakeside School, a private school in Seattle, they used a teletype machine, which was one of the first computers to be used in a school environment. At the age of 13, Bill had developed his first computer program using this computer, an implementation of tic-tac-toe written in BASIC. BASIC stands for Beginner's All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. Meanwhile, a company based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, named the Micro-Instrumentation and Telemetry System, or MITS, had released a personal computer kit at around the same time, called the Altair 8800. This computer eventually led to the creation of Microsoft. After Bill and Paul had seen the Altair 8800 on an issue of Popular Electronics, a magazine dedicated for electronics hobbyists, they started to write software for the computer, which was an interpreter for the basic programming language, with an input-output system and a line editor, with a lot of room left on memory to write a program, since the interpreter only took up 4 kilobytes. This means the Altair was able to run programs written in BASIC, and anyone who knew BASIC or wanted to learn it could write programs for them. The interpreter, which was called the Altair Basic, was written in assembly language with an Intel 8080 processor on a PDP-10 computer. It was delivered on paper tape and includes functions and statements such as print, list, if-else, and return. Once the software was completed, Paul flew to New Mexico to meet with Ed Roberts, the founder and president of MITS, to demonstrate the software. Ed was immediately impressed, and MITS began to distribute the interpreter. Altair Basic would be the pair's first commercially successful software. So, what were some of the things Bill and Paul did after the successful release of Altair Basic? Bill joined Paul in Albuquerque on April 4, 1975. They officially formed Microsoft, stylized with a hyphen in between. They followed up the success of Altair Basic with a line of basic interpreters for other computers, such as ones designed by Commodore and Atari. By the year 1980, they had developed an operating system for IBM's line of personal computers called the MS-DOS 1.0, which stood for Microsoft Disk Operating System. Although it was operated by inputting commands into a command line, MS-DOS was given a graphical user interface in 1985, which became known as Microsoft Windows. In 1989, Microsoft had released their first ever line of productivity applications, which we know as Microsoft Office, on the Apple Macintosh.
Microsoft expects to get half of its revenues from Macintosh software.
It might sound silly that Microsoft would release them on the Mac before their own Windows operating system, but this move allowed Microsoft to test a variety of features on the Mac before releasing them on Windows. Since the Mac audience weren't as important to Microsoft, Microsoft Office was finally released for Windows a year later. By 1995, roughly 90% of personal computers owned by consumers operated on Microsoft-made operating systems, along with their Office products. They would continue their dominance with the release of Windows 95. And the same year, Bill Gates and Microsoft had committed to supporting and enhancing the Internet, and the Internet Explorer browser was released. By 2001, the company had tapped into the video game console industry with the Xbox, which you can learn about in our series on the history of video game consoles. Without a doubt, Microsoft carries a huge presence in the world of technology. According to StatCounter Global Stats, Windows holds about 75.56% of the desktop operating system market share worldwide as of March 2021. And OS X, which holds about 16.48%, doesn't even come close.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And buy a PC.
What?
There were one of 3 companies, the others being Sony and Nintendo, to have released one console for the 8th generation of video game consoles. and they are the only ones with Sony to have released a console for the current 9th generation. Microsoft also offers a popular cloud service called Microsoft Azure, which is widely used in the field of software engineering, and they continue to maintain their line of Office products. Are you a user of Microsoft Windows? Which was the first Windows operating system you used? Let us know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed watching this video and want to learn more things relating to science, technology, history, and tons of other interesting subjects, don't forget to click the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon to be notified when we publish new videos. Thank you for joining us on Feed My Curiosity. Until next time, take care.
You'll notice that this scanner build. Whoa.
That must be why we're not shipping Windows 98 yet.
Absolutely.